This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Rob Weedoff. I play John Marston in Red Dead Redemption, and you are listening to the Nerd Corporation podcast.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
Allow my legs time to rebuild day.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the last 2 days was just all leg day.
For real, though. My poor calves.
As of this recording, it's the day after FanX, and we are all a little worse for wear.
We're all old.
Yeah, dude, like...
Walking back to the car, we were talking about what parts of our feet were hurting.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at right now.
That's what we all thought we were some young Thundercats that could walk in very nice shoes for the whole weekend.
It was the shoes, like...
It really was the shoes, dude.
I
Honestly...
Nobody...
The shoes!
I don't think anybody should have to walk around in dress shoes for 8 hours a day.
No.
They all
not
make
at all.
the old man noises that they reference in Letterkenny when you get up and down and you're like, ugh.
I make
dad
those all the
sound.
time.
Yeah,
dad
dad
noise.
sounds,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Derek makes those on a
I
daily.
make those all the time.
So do I.
Okay, let's go.
I dropped my vape coming over here. I picked it up off my bed and it fell on the floor, and I was like...
Dude, an old buddy of mine, Derek Dallin,
Oh, yeah.
whenever he wakes up and he stretches, he'll like stretch and he'll be like...
I always make so many noises when I'm stretching. Or, like, when I'm yawning, I'll be like...
You ever make that weird stretch noise where it's like... You sound like an old, like, Volkswagen.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I just go like this, and I'm like...
He vocalizes.
Fuck, that feels good. Oh, that feels good right there.
And then he releases all
Well,
his bodily gases.
As fun as
Oh, yeah.
as fun as I'm sure hearing our noises are for people.
It's podcast day.
Yes.
Welcome to episode 48,
Nick,
FanX review.
why do you have scissors?
Because I'm
Why do you
gonna
have
cut a
scissors,
bitch.
Nick? Don't, no cutting, bitches. No, give me those scissors. And hand them to me the right way, with the handles first. Nicholas? Oh, you son of a bitch. There are consequences.
When will you learn?
Your actions have consequences! Do you know what that little boy was yelling about?
No.
They were making a new Sonic game and he was pissed off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we watched
PewDiePie
it,
had
yeah.
a little bit of a rant.
What's
on
his
him.
name?
I don't remember his name.
Oh, he's so funny, though.
Yeah. But, yes, we're going to just talk about our FanX experience and all of the fun things. We have a guest, Angela Wooden. Say hello.
Hi. Hi.
Dainty little hi. This was your first con, wasn't it?
Yep.
Awesome. I cannot wait to get your thoughts on it. But first, let's get on with the nerd news.
Your monosyllabic thoughts.
This is NCP News. All news, all the time. Join us as we report the latest in the nerd universe.
Sorry, but this has to go first. Daddy Sakurai. He came through.
Yeah?
He came fucking through.
Yeah.
Joker is probably the most broken character in Smash history, but god damn it, I fucking love him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's so good. He's so much fun.
He is. He really is.
Holy fuck. The stage is great. Let me just say that I called about 80% of my predictions.
No, it's true. Yeah, we talked about this on an
Oh, it's
episode.
true. It's damn true.
It's damn true.
Mementos is the stage. His up B, well, I guess part of his up B is, Arsene flying in the air. I can't believe they gave him a gun.
When he gets it, right?
Yeah.
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 It's,
You said, Nick, that they were going to give him a gun. And you were like, nah, that's
Yeah.
Nintendo.
I didn't think that they would. I really didn't. Just because, and it's become quite the meme nowadays. It's like, because the announcer, like during the announcement, or during the gameplay trailer, the announcer's like, his neutral special he wields a gun, and then it like has this weird pause. It's fucking funny.
Even we don't know.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of flippy dippy shit that he does with the gun. It took me forever to find that shit out, but you gotta be in the air and then press B and then press any direction that you're going, which I thought was really cool. If you go up, he does the little spin while he's falling down. If you press down, then he just does this crazy twirl like Dante style.
Yeah, that's the one that I figured out.
And his counter looks really cool too. Like,
his counter is really kind of unique because it's not really a counter until you get Arsene. So his counter is you can hold it, and it's like a good 2-3 seconds before he lets go.
Yeah.
But anytime that he gets hit while he's doing that counter, he takes half damage. There's no knockback whatsoever. He stays there, and it starts filling up. This is the fastest way to get your little meter to get Arsene to come out, is by doing that.
By blocking with that down beat.
Yeah, he comes out normally. Like, if you're getting your fucking ass kicked, then he'll come out pretty quick. But normally, if you wanted to have like a strategy on getting him out of there, then those people that counter probably pretty good with that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Daddy Sakurai, thank you. You did really good.
Thank you, Daddy.
I never ever thought that you would ever do what you did for us, including putting Makoto inside, the stage. That's amazing.
That all out, dude. The
all
ultimate
out,
smash,
yeah.
dude. It just makes me
Thank
so
and
happy.
then when he wins and he gets in the van and it drives off.
Yeah. I mean, he gave me everything I wanted and more. Like, the fucking, the victory scene, or the victory screen after you win, it's exactly the same as Persona 5. Like, he, starts running to the side, and it does it's just 100% Persona 5.
The van actually picks you up, because that's how it happens in Mementos in the game.
And then there's,
they added content from 3 and 4, which, all of it almost confirms that 3, 4, and 5 are coming to the Switch.
Yeah, I think it's safe it's a safe bet to say
finally
that
fucking play 3 and 4 then.
3 and 4 are coming to the Switch. That would be really cool.
Games.
I've never played 3, so
I didn't play any of them until this one.
Yeah,
I mean,
same here. I didn't play any of them.
I still haven't played any of them.
It's Wednesday, isn't it?
That's when the Persona Live P-Sound concert happens, and they're going to do a big announcement that day too.
They're announcing what P5R really is, and they're also going to shed some light on what P5S is. Which is...
I need to get back on that game.
Yeah, you do.
Is the Switch
Dude, I'm
version.
still stuck on that fucking boss fight.
I'm right past that. So
How many days left do you have in that?
I don't even know, because my game is saved right before you lower Morgana to get the thing, and then so I do that, and then I just run out, and then the fight starts, and I'll fight him again, and then I'll just be like, fuck it, and I'll go do something else. But I'll get it.
Bananarama family.
Yeah. I've got. Well, I'm reading this article now. There's two things. This is from comicbook.com, but they say that the European retailer Pro Gaming Shop updated its listing of Cyberpunk 2077 with a release date, and now people are also seeing one for The Last of Us Part 2 with a release date possibly of September 27th. And that is 3 days before my fucking birthday. So I hope that's true, because I would just be like, oh, hey, oh, thanks, Naughty Dog, for the awesome birthday present.
Happy birthday to me.
So, I don't really know. My game development knowledge is pretty shallow. So, when they say that they're 100% done with filming, they're done filming completely.
Yeah, they just shot the last scene.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, what does that mean? Because there's a whole game on top of that, though. So, I think September is a great time to release it. I could have swore they were going to go with October. But I'm thoroughly convinced that this game's not coming out this year anymore.
Well,
I think it would be great. I'm going to hold on to hope. That'd be rad. But all signs are pointing to 2020 for this guy, for me. Just because, them being it being filmed and and completed filming, but there's also like there's QA, there's all the game on top of it.
Yeah, that's the consensus according to the article. But
what's the article from?
Comicbook.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
they're pretty reliable.
there are people reporting about this year.
I think it would be great to see that game this year. I just don't. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think it's coming out this year.
Well, fuck what you think.
I'm holding on to hope, definitely.
I mean, it's 5 months. September's 5 months from now.
If you can't, if you don't want to hang on to that, Cyberpunk is coming out on November 28th.
This year?
So,
see, that makes more sense to me because that game's been in development for fucking ever.
I think September's because I mean, if it's 5 months from now, all they got to do is finalize everything, get everything made, and go.
Like I said, I'd love to be wrong because I would love to be playing that game this year, but I don't know. They're just kind of.
Dude, I will take like the 27th and like the days through my birthday up until like November 1st, and I'll just take those days, or October 1st, and I'll just take all those days off and just play it.
That's kind of why I wish that they would just be like, yo, it's it's coming out then, because I'd like to get the days off, and I have to give an insane amount of time ahead of time.
Well, they were saying that Sony had, first of all, Sony published a list of upcoming games in 2019, and that was on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but
that would be really, really rad.
We've got
agreed.
We've got Mortal Kombat 11
Tuesday,
and Days Gone
Friday.
Holy shit!
I was on the fence about Days Gone, but when we played it at Comicon, Jesus Christ! Dude.
Yeah, bro, I was, and it was cool because like Cole, you had the horde experience when you were playing the demo, and I had to like sneaky.
That's all I had too.
No, I had to like sneak behind him and like stab him in the back of the head type deal. It was cool, so I'm ready. I'm ready.
It felt good. It felt. He runs out of stamina way too fast.
I agree.
Like way too fast.
But I feel like that's one of those like upgradable things.
Probably.
Definitely could be. The demo that I was playing had a massive amount of slowdown too. Like whenever you led the horde into, in proximity of like a gas canister or whatever, and you shot it and it explodes, like it chugged along a lot for that. Same thing with I don't know what weapons they gave you in your build, but they gave us a shotgun and an LMG.
I just had a shotgun.
I loved getting on top of the cars because there's no cover and there are fucking tons of zombies and they're all coming towards you all at once.
That's fucking awesome.
And it definitely gave me a tinge of terror just because it did feel insurmountable.
It's that anxiety.
The thing that got to me the most was when because I would always try and throw a Molotov in there, and then they would come running out, and I'd be like, okay, I'm ready, because I'm like behind a barrel, the one that's behind the logs, and I'd try and do that. Then they'd overpower me, so I'd start running, and then when you look behind you and you see how fucking close they are, you're just like, oh god, you just like try and book it, your stamina runs out.
Something that stuck out to me too is like how vocal the guy is.
Yeah.
He's like, holy fuck, he's like saying a lot of shit.
I don't think my headphones were plugged in though, because
really, because
I put them on.
Fucking were.
Mine were hella low.
I swear I could hear them like through the TV, so I was just like, whatever.
Mine were really fucking loud. Like,
I wish mine were loud. Then again, they were probably loud in my ears or shit. So
yeah, they. I don't know. It seems rad. I mean, I just wanted to feel it. I wanted to get a feel because immediately when you get a game and you're playing it and you're like, oof.
And it looks amazing.
It does look really good.
So good.
All right, so going over to AEW's first event, the Double or Nothing. If you don't know about this yet, we've got a couple of fights that we already know. So we've got Chris Jericho against Kenny Omega,
which is going to be a fucking amazing match, dude.
And then we've got Young Bucks defending their tag titles against the Lucha Brothers,
which is going to be even bigger. The Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, I think, are like the tag teams to look at for now. Because I mean, you got Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. and of course the Young Bucks, which have been just all phenomenal. Like, I can't even tell you a bad Young Bucks match, and it's been great.
So that being said, we haven't known who Cody Rhodes is going to be facing. Through their web series, the Road to Double or Nothing, he's been basically searching or trying to figure out who his opponent's going to be. Well, now we know, and that opponent is going to be Goldust.
Ooh!
Yes! Goldust.
And
they actually, I didn't show you guys this earlier, but where is it? I thought it actually has. Oh yeah. So Goldust actually shared a picture of him in some red and black makeup.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Oh shit, Wolfpack's coming back.
But yeah, like pretty, yeah, and he's got just one of those really serious, emotional faces. So I'm sure it's gonna be a familial grudge match sort of deal,
Well, I was watching the video, and I think that's the angle that they're playing.
Yeah,
just like,
because I didn't watch the video.
I watched the video, and he was just like, well, we can call this a farewell match. Cool, that's fine. Every time I go out into that ring and people scream, "You still got it! You still got it!" Well, I never lost it.
Oh,
He's like, I've done everything there is to do in my 30 years in this business, and Cody's just starting to fill his shoes.
mm-hmm.
And they talked about how they were brought up differently because there's a 16-year age gap between the two of them,
Mm-hmm.
and so getting Dusty's adoration and being raised differently. He's like, Cody was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. I came up with my father, and he's like, I've always been there for him. When he won 2 state championships in high school, I was there for him. When he did this, that, and the other, I was there for him. And I told him every time, I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud of you, little brother. I love you. That's great. Not once did I ever get a thank you or, hey, I appreciate that, or this, that, and the other.
Okay.
And so they're really playing the brother angle, and I'm stupid excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm definitely excited for it.
That does sound pretty good, because I always loved watching Goldust. I was all about his theme song. Like, I thought that was a really good song, and then just like his persona, like when he came out and he was just hissing at the camera and shit like that. I was like, dude, Goldust, this guy is insane.
Goldust is one of the most underrated professional wrestlers, I think, in all of professional wrestling.
Yeah,
because he always
really
works
is.
hard. He always brings it, no matter what character they give him. Even if it's a shit character, he's always like, well, let me turn this shit into a flower or something. Like,
yeah,
it's always been amazing. So I think that this is going to be and they've always wanted a brother versus brother match, him and Cody. So it's going to be fucking phenomenal. All right, so now for the topic of the hour, FanX 2019 in the spring. Holy shit. I always have a blast. This is only my second con, but I've always had a blast. And I am super excited. We got a few voice spots. We've got we went to a bunch of cool panels, saw a bunch of cool shit. Angela, how was your first con?
It was great. I'm super tired and my feet still hurt, but it was a blast. We did so much.
Yeah.
It was nonstop the entire time.
And as me and Derek are kind of the con alums, I can say I've never been to a bad one before.
Oh yeah.
There's not one where I was just like, oh man, this one was shit this year. It's all just been really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are always definitely things that can be improved.
Yeah, there's small spots, but
as far as guests and panels, as far as content, it's always fucking top notch.
It was. I don't think I ever want to wear dress shoes again to a con.
Well, it was like when I got married.
If we do those cosplays again,
and it hurt.
I don't think will be too out of place if we just wear actual shoes.
You guys gotta get those Dr. Scholl's insoles.
Well, like the shoes that I wore weren't too bad. I mean, they're not like, you know, they were kind of just like dress looking shoes, but they have
mine
decent
were like
support.
comfortable to wear and walk around in a little bit, but the more the days went on, I was like, it was like squeezing up against like the you know, the ball of your foot and the other side of the ball of your foot. And, like by the end of the day, I was just like.
And see, I have insoles in mine. Like I switched out the regular sole and put some insoles in them because I used to use those for work.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was fine, like, for most of it until maybe about a couple hours before we had to, like, before we were, like, deciding to leave and stuff.
And it just makes me wonder, though, like, with us bitching, like, how some of the other people that, like, go all out feel.
And the
right?
like,
I want to know how the chick that was cosplaying as On felt, like, at the end of that day.
Oh,
yeah.
Like, could you imagine her feet after that?
Yeah, no kidding.
God.
Like, I mean, at the very end of it, like, after we decided to go to the pie hole, and when we the structure that we parked in, we were at, like, the fucking top of it, right?
Oh, no.
Jesus.
So, like, after we finished eating, we had to hike up these, like, four floors of stairs.
Dude, my legs were legitimately, like, sore by the time.
It was like that scene in the first Ghostbusters when they're going up, you know, to go meet Gozer.
Yeah.
They're just like, like going up that whole thing.
We parked like a couple blocks away from the convention center, and we walked there the first day from where we had parked in the parking lot, and then after that we took the scooters, we took the bike carriages every time. We were like and then we got to our hotel that night, and it's a much older hotel, and they don't have elevators, and our room was on the top floor, and so we have all of our luggage and stuff, and all of Cole's statues that he bought from the first day, and we're just so winded, and we just like crashed in that room so hard after that.
Wow.
How's that cloud that you got, Cole?
I haven't opened him yet.
You're gonna open him?
Well, yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah, no, those people are fucking weird.
I don't open shit.
Well, the ones that give you
common.
Unless you give so much shit for it, it's like I'm gonna take him out and I'm gonna pose him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want him like this in the box for his entire life. Like
that last day when I found out that I got paid on Saturday, and
how much money did you spend?
Well, I bought the shirt, and then I bought one of those. I bought an Overwatch like mystery box that came with a bunch of cool shit in there. And we walked around for like another 30 minutes because I wanted to find that booth that had the Joker Nenodroid.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But I found one booth that had an On Figma. And I was like, oh yeah, hey, if that's like $50, I'll get it. I was like, hey, how much is that? And he's like, $75. And I was like, no, I can't do $75.
It was the funniest thing because he was like $75.
Yo, that one is $50 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, he couldn't find it. Like, I was like, hey, can I look at that On Figma? And he was just like,
yeah, gobble that shit up for $50 right now because I paid.
So he didn't even know his shit.
Apparently not. I was like, it's next to the Batman one there, and I don't know if he didn't know what it was. He probably just couldn't, because there was only one there. He probably just couldn't see it.
Sorry. The same one?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's the one that I have. And when I bought it, it was like $90, almost $100.
Wow.
Because you pre-ordered it.
Yeah. I have the other ones pre-ordered too.
It was so funny when the dude's like 75. Like his immediate reaction was, I
was like, ooh,
yeah.
On the another Persona thing though, we have those pops that are coming out in June.
Yeah. There
is a limited edition Chase Funko of Unmasked Joker. It's also coming out.
Okay.
Oh wow.
$50. But
Jesus, for a pop? Holy shit.
Well, those Chase variants are like the really hard to find.
Yeah,
ones.
they are.
They're the ones that are worth something.
I actually have a couple Chases.
Yeah,
I don't have any Chases. I just have like Hot Topic exclusives.
Yeah, I've got a couple Chases. I've got some exclusives and a few glow in the darks.
That Soldier Grillmaster one that I bought was I think it was either an NYC or a San Diego Con exclusive.
Nice.
Speaking of overpriced figures. Cole, you had kind of a bad experience when we got home and you looked up the price of your Gohan, huh?
Yeah, I the rest of them weren't that bad, but that Gohan that I bought, it's from one of my favorite arcs in anime ever, but it's Gohan, and he's got Piccolo's like shoulder pads and cape on, and he's in Piccolo's purple garb, and so this figure that I bought, it's from Grandista, who's kind of like a little sub thing from Ban Presto, who's really popular for anime figures and stuff like that. And this one's really cool because it comes with 2 different sets of arms. Ones that, you know, are clenched and they go down, and then there's one that are bent, you know, like this. And then it comes with 2 different heads for him. So one head is the normal Gohan Super Saiyan, where he's just got the short hair, and then Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, where the hair is all the way up. And had to have it. I love that shit.
Yeah.
I loved how he looked too, and they're so like thick. They're like, if this thing hit the ground,
oh yeah,
there was no way it would break.
Well,
like,
and our Goku has fallen off our shelf a few times from
made by
slamming the door.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I did see when we were at that booth, I saw one of the figures there, and I don't know if it was part of the. I don't know who it was or if it was part of it, but I don't know why they'd have it on display if it was. But its like arm had like broken off.
Yeah, and they sell those for cheaper. I don't know why you'd sell them at all, because I don't know why anybody would buy them. But yeah, I got the Nendroid of Mega Man, and it was $55 originally, but the box was all beat to shit. And I told him, I'm like, hey, do you got one that doesn't have like a totally fucked up box? And he's like, oh, I can just lower the price for you. And I said, okay, how much?
I can just go ahead and take it off your hands then.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, can you do 30? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I can do 30. Because they don't even make that in Android anymore.
I wish that I could just walk up and just accidentally knock a box on the ground and step on it. And just be like, hey, can I get a discount here?
You know what you should do is have somebody else knock it off and smash it, and then you be like,
well, the bitch fucking dropped my Gohan.
Yeah.
What?
You remember you made a comment about that.
Yeah.
You didn't break or anything, but I was like, well, fuck, man.
I guess we're just gonna be throwing shit around.
Like, I can do that too.
Just start
Flip
wrecking
the whole display.
Yeah.
I was just curious, and I got on my phone and I was like, can I buy this? I was wondering what Grandista was, because I didn't know it had anything to do with Ban Presto or anything like that. And I found the Gohan on Amazon for half the price that I paid for it.
Jesus Christ.
Which wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like terrible, because I paid $40 for it and it's on there for $25. So I'm like, you know, it sucks, but whatever.
It's Comic-Con.
Yeah, you got to add Comic-Con. So I mean.
Well, not only that, but there's a lot of figures that I bought that were cheaper there. Mm-hmm. You know, like that the Oscar one that came with the Lance of Longinus. That one I paid $30 for. It's $50 online.
Oh, nice.
They don't even make that Nendroid of Mega Man anymore.
Oh, wow.
So I got that one. I got the Mega Man. I got the. Hold on. So I got Gohan, Mega Man, the Oscar one, and then the Big Daddy Mac of them all. The one I've been looking for. I've been searching. I've been looking high and low, Eddie. I've been looking. I've been searching under stones. I've been breaking into people's houses. I've been looking, dog.
Searching for my baby.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I found him.
Yeah, you did.
I found him.
Yeah, you did.
You had a crisis.
I found my authentic, and it is authentic. I checked all the boxes, everything. It is an authentic Advent Children Cloud.
You know, I thought I got a crack out of it because Eddie and I were the ones that like convinced you to buy it.
Yeah,
because we were all.
The thing is that
were you?
Yeah, I was there.
It was a huge markup. That figure. If they sold, so he's part of a line of figures.
Do you remember? Because when I showed you that, I think it was like $180 when I sent you the picture, like from 2 years ago.
Even then, it
and
was
you were
still
like,
that much.
I will send you money from from Messenger.
Well, it's just fucking rad because now I have both clouds, and I'm really happy about it. But yeah, he was $200. Those figures usually go for $120, but the fact is that this guy is completely out of print.
Yeah.
Like, the only way to get this figure is the one that's reproduced that comes with the bike, and that bike is $500. So
they're both together.
They're both
500?
together $500.
Oh God.
And I don't want the fucking bike.
Yeah,
Could care less.
That's like all of my paycheck, but like just short of $200.
And I've been told that the reproduced clouds that are coming with the bike are of shoddy quality.
Oh, wow.
So the guy that I got at Comicon is authentic. I haven't opened him up yet. He looks great. I'm just kind of wanting to go to the new house before I open him up, just because I don't want to lose. I've already opened up my remake Cloud and Sephiroth, and I've got to worry about transporting them.
Right.
So
would you call that your favorite purchase?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
My favorite. It's my favorite purchase, but it's not my favorite thing I got at the con.
What was your favorite thing you got?
So, I got 2 really fucking cool things. One of them is, a little bit more cool than the other, definitely.
Herpes.
And Nick, you fucking lied to me.
This whole time.
No, Nick and I both got our collector's edition of Red Dead Redemption 2 signed by not only Arthur Morgan, but also John Marston.
See, and what I was planning on, because I thought that he would just kind of... I thought he was just going to write, like, your name and then sign it, and I was like, okay, I'll just have Rob, sign the bottom half. No, he took up the entire front.
Yeah,
and
he was like, this bitch
flipping
is
this
mine.
over.
Yeah.
And, like...
I'm not going to complain.
No, like, the messages that they put on there...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know that's what they wrote for every autograph, but it was
Yeah.
still just like... So, Roger Clark wrote, your name... And then he said, "You're all right, boy."
Yeah.
And then he signed it.
Which is rad.
And then on the flip side, John wrote your name, his signature. Then he wrote John underneath it, and then it said "Outlaws till the end." When I saw that, like Derek was with me,
so cool,
I saw it,
dude.
and I was like,
Yeah.
like I almost fell.
It was really cool.
2 of the most humble dudes I've ever met.
Absolutely, dude.
Real, like.
Well, and they were so apologetic when they came back from break, because they were super late.
Oh, yeah.
And
Fuck, they didn't come back for like almost an hour.
And Rob came up behind Cole
Yeah.
and was like, grabbed his arm, and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for waiting for us." And I was like,
It's okay, Rob. It's okay.
I love you.
I'll wait forever for you, Rob.
You could kill my whole family, and I'd be okay with it.
I'd tell you thank you.
Fuck Angela, will you marry me? Marry me.
My favorite purchase was Rob Wiedoff's voice spot,
which you've already heard by now.
Yep, because it's at the beginning of this one.
So fucking cool.
He was all about it too. I was just like, so I run a local podcast, and he's like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. And I was just wondering if you could do like a little intro spot, like your name, who you are, and you're listening to the Nerd Corporation. And he was all about it. He's like, hell yeah, man, let's do it. Let's go ahead, let's do it. And he does it. And I must have listened to that thing already like 500
We listened to it when we got here.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there listening to it like, oh, he did it.
The coolest thing though is because like just the conversations that I had with Rob and Roger. Like I told Roger like what we all, mostly what Cole had said, but we all agreed that game was not only the best Western game, but the best Western story
of all time. Yeah.
And because he mentioned in his panel, the one that I can't remember what it was called, but it was the one that Rockstar told him to watch to like get a feel for his character.
Oh yeah, it was
shit.
Yeah. Rockstar told him to watch. Crap, which one was it? But it was I can't forget. It wasn't really a Western. It was an Australian movie.
Yeah.
But they told him to watch it, and it's pretty much like the story of Red Dead in a sense.
And then we when me and Derek were up talking to Rob, because I mentioned this to like all of you guys before we met him. I went up and I told him, I was like, it's funny because a lot of voice actors kind of have to change their voice to become their character. I was like, you are John Marston.
yeah, Rob.
And he's like, yeah, I got super lucky with that. And he was telling us how like it all came to be. What was he's saying? Like he was like folding laundry and like talking, and they like caught wind of that, and they were like, "Yeah, if you can we're just gonna give you a shitload of lines to say."
That's what they were wanting him to do, was to just sit there doing some menial task, and so they were like, "Yeah, just be sitting there folding laundry and saying these lines."
Yeah.
And because we just want to get a feel for your cadence and how you say these things.
Because it's like we don't want you
and
to
we'll go from there.
Sit there and like focus on the stuff. Just talk like you normally would, because that's how we want the character to sound.
Yeah. It was really cool.
God.
Yeah, I walked up to Roger Clark first because Rob was on break for like 3 hours. And then after that, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, and the cool thing is Roger recognized what we were from.
Yeah, so we got up to him and he goes, oh, like he was kind of trying to put his finger on it. He's like, oh, you guys are from that Spider-Man game, right? And we're like, yeah. Like none of the Spider-Mans even know who we are.
Yeah, that was the sad
thing. And
thing.
then he proceeded to tell us the coolest bit of information that I've ever heard in my life. So he said, yeah, the guy that plays Charles actually did motion capturing in Spider-Man, and he's also the voice of Sekiro. And I was like,
Get the fuck out.
I was like, no, dude.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and I was like, on IMDb, and I was like, there he is.
He's not lying.
Yeah.
No.
Wouldn't that be funny, though, if he just completely made all
shit
that
up.
shit up?
Just a fucking people. Yeah, I walked up to him, and I got his autograph and everything, and I wanted to make it a point to thank both of them for not only giving us two of the most legendary games like ever made, but also helping with the helping out with keeping the single player games alive and
relevant.
And it was much more with Rob. I'll tell you about Rob in a minute, but Roger, I just was like, fuck, I want to know so much.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what was it like working with Rockstar? Like, did they have did you have like a laser
Hauser
beam on your
Brothers.
forehead at night when you went to bed, like, in case you like were leaking secrets about the game out? Like there's some of the most elusive, like, he fucking got to develop with the Hauser brothers.
Yeah.
Like, they're two of the most elusive game developers ever.
And it's funny because when we went and saw his panel, I think somebody, I can't remember what they asked him, but he was Roger was talking. He was like, he's telling everybody about how the game took the 5 years to make or whatever, and he's like, and I tell you, like, 3 years into the game, I was like, this game's never going to be done.
Yeah.
Well, and how many lines did he say that?
Between the two of
just
them,
the two of them.
120,000
lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
And that includes
120,000 lines.
like grunts and like,
because they had him come in at different angles and do it, because and they're like, okay, now you just antagonize this person and they're running away, now you have to like shout it out, like,
yeah. Like it's crazy because they were talking about how they didn't do just sit in a booth recording. Like, they were in their mocap stuff.
Yeah, it was all done.
And it was all just straight acting into a camera.
It's fucking rad.
Oh yeah,
that's probably why Roger looks so much like Arthur too.
Yeah.
Like almost identical.
Roger's Irish.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was Australian.
No,
he's
it's
Irish.
very. I thought his accent was very subtle, but
Well,
it's there.
It doesn't come through as much just because I think just because of how gruff his voice is, like how gravelly his voice is.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to pull that accent out. But that was one of my favorite moments too, was snagging those nameplates.
Oh my god!
Yeah, Derek just like at the end of the panel, Derek just goes up to the table, just grabs both of their
Which,
names.
unfortunately, they couldn't join us tonight. So
Yeah, y'all. There's so much shit you can get done just by acting casual.
yeah. No, he just walked up.
Like, he
just
totally
walked
belonged
up.
there.
He didn't even look around. He just plucked him off. And I'm the one looking around for like security to just come out and tackle him.
And there
Well,
was
because
there was
remember
security
last
on
year
either
you
side.
got almost taken down by a security guard because
Well,
you were doing a live stream.
I was doing a live stream.
Oh yeah, these
for the
beelined
page,
it.
and like there's nobody around me, and this dude just like if there was like a garbage can, he just came up from behind me, and just like, you need to stop recording.
What the fuck?
But yeah, no.
He just went up to him and he's like, "That's not something you do."
Yeah,
That's not something you do. But no, I just walked up there like it was fucking nothing, snagged him, and walked away.
Yeah.
I belong here.
Fuck it, dude. Why not?
While he's looking that up, my favorite purchase, which was one of my two purchases.
Oh, you already saw it.
There were only two things I bought, but was the John Cleese autograph, which made me happy.
Whole reason why you went.
That was the absolute reason, and it was great too because all of the Monty Python guys are, very highly educated guys. Like they have met in Cambridge. Like they were all studying to be lawyers and doctors and all this shit.
John Cleese was one, wasn't he?
He was studying to be a lawyer.
He passed his exam.
And so they're all brilliant guys. Anyway, so that's why you have all of these little, Latin things and history things and, all this shit throughout all the Monty Python movies. And in The Life of Brian, where they do that, if you remember it, it's that the Latin graffiti scene.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you remember that Latin graffiti scene where he's... Brian is graffitiing, telling the Romans to go home. That's all legitimate, accurate Latin.
Really?
Well, I mean, once John Cleese's character comes by and corrects him, yes.
Hell yeah.
And so, that scene makes me so fucking happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my god, that's right! That's correct Latin!
Yeah.
And so I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, dude, and I'm a classicist. I learned Latin through college, and da-da-da-da. And he's like, and he lit up, dude. He was so excited. He's like, so you know what a locative is? And I was like, yes, I do! And it was just a really cool little moment, between
you
me
had
and John
a really
Cleese.
Cool interaction with the one guy, too.
Jess Harnell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Fucking
Tell
us all about that.
All right, so Jess Harnell is the voice of Wacko from, well, among other things. He's the voice of Wacko from
Fucking everything.
Animaniacs.
Scary Terry from Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah. Spyro, yeah.
Ironhide, is it?
Yeah, or is it Ironhide or Ironside? It's Ironhide, right?
Oh,
okay.
From Transformers.
Yeah, from Transformers. This dude fucking does everything. Anyway.
Before you go on.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I found out was the voice of Jazz?
Who?
Darius McCreary, who played Eddie in Family Matters.
Oh, shit! No way!
Yeah, Laura's brother from the Urkel show.
That is cool.
The Urkel back to Chris Parnell. Cole's sister went up to La Tienda, and as she had just gotten there, the cashier was like, yeah, Chris Parnell was just in here.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so he had gone to La Tienda on his way down to FanX.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Chris...
How fucking weird is that?
Wait.
They were freaking out about him.
So...
Chris Parnell it was Garth from Anchorman. Are we talking about the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
I hate you,
No, we're just telling you about something else. That's a different person.
Oh, no. I meant the same guy that Derek met.
No, that's a different guy.
No. Jess Harnell.
That's who I met.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
I was like, if we missed Chris
I
Parnell,
thought
dude.
I was like,
that's what
Chris
you meant,
Parnell came to
No,
Comicon?
I'm so sorry.
was like, how did we
that's
miss
funny
him?
because you made the same mess up that you said that last night, and that's why.
Dude,
I'm
that's
sorry.
so crazy.
Yeah.
Jess Parnell.
Jess
Parnell. Jess Parnell.
Yeah.
Jess Harnell's one of the coolest dudes.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jess has an eidetic memory. Like, that dude has a fucking memory from
you're kind of funny looking,
like,
so...
But see, I'm, like, the first time he met me, though, I had a full beard and hair all the way down my back.
Yeah.
And then the next year, I met him for all 2 minutes. I was like, because the first time I met him, I wasn't buying anything. I was just like, hey man, I just wanted to say, hey, I love Animaniacs, blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
Jess does this panel every year. Normally, it's the Twisted Tunes panel, which if you've never seen it, Google it. It's fucking amazing. It's hilarious.
I have plenty of videos.
They're all over the net, really. I mean, they're everywhere. But yeah, so it's just... They'll take all the voice actors, or as many of them as are willing and have, open time to do it.
Yeah.
They'll pack them all into the Grand Ballroom, which is the biggest room in the entire place.
Yeah, it's fucking huge.
They'll pack everybody into the Grand Ballroom, and they'll have these voice actors do just random sections of movie scripts, but as they go, so they'll assign, everybody a role from the script.
Yeah.
And they'll say, but you're going to do it in some different character voice that either that person is famous for, or like, so, you know, they'll have Jess do Wacko for...
Yeah, sometimes it's not even their character.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes it's just a character that people know they do well or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so they'll have like Jess as the Dread Pirate Roberts or, you know, whatever, you know, doing the voice of Wacko. So they'll, you know, and they'll just kind of go through and do this. Anyway, this year they didn't do that. Yeah. They decided not to do the Twisted Tunes panel, and in its place, Jess was doing kind of a variety hour panel where they were going to do somewhat of that. They split it up into two parts. So they split it up into a thing like a singing thing, and they split it up. The other half was the Twisted Tunes type panel. Yeah. But instead of other known voice actors, they did all these auditions online. Like in the weeks or months leading up to Comic-Con, they did all these auditions, these singing auditions and voice auditions for regular people to actually take part in the panels. And so that was really cool. I was going to submit a thing for the singing part of it. I didn't. Totally just escaped me with all the school stuff I was doing, totally spaced it. Yeah. Whatever. So the day of the panel, I was actually up talking to Jess. Went through his line and said hi, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, I was gonna submit a thing for that, and I never got around to it." And he's like, "Oh, you can sing?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I did this little karaoke thing that they had the other day, which was kind of weird. Apparently, they now have karaoke at FanX, just because." Yeah. And so I actually just by chance had this girl that was sitting there record that performance, and he's like, well, yeah, let's hear it. So I played it for him, and he's like, all right, cool, hey, you want to come up on stage with us? Fuck. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah. He's like, yeah, man, no, you should come up on stage with us. Yeah. Do you know Don't Stop Believin'? Yeah. And I was like, yeah.
Who fucking doesn't know? You know? Who fucking doesn't know that shit?
But see, Jess does a different thing. He does it to, like, with it's kind of like a mashup sort of thing with Enter the Sandman. Okay. And
it's like he calls it Sugar Rock.
Yeah. And so it was cool. But anyway, I was like, sure. Yeah. And so he's like, all right, cool. Write your name down here. Rock Sugar. Rock Sugar's the band name, but he's like, yeah, write your name down here and meet us in the Grand Ballroom at 4:45. We'll call you up. Yada yada yada. Yeah. So I do that. And I go up there. They have us go in the backstage area, like the fucking green room where all of the celebrities go. Yeah. And by the way, there are couches back there that all these celebrities have signed throughout the years. No. So, like, I'm sitting there staring at fucking Freddy Krueger's autograph. What? Lucius Malfoy's autograph is right behind me. Fucking... like, all this shit everywhere. Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, dude, this is amazing. Yeah. So, like, yeah, we went out there. So Jess goes out, you know, says hey to everybody, like, hypes the crowd up, and then he brings us all out, and we all stand in a row, and they start the song, and he just goes down the line, and, you know, all over the place, and it was just fucking cool. Like,
that's rad as hell.
Like, that place was packed. Yeah. Packed.
Yeah, there had to have been maybe a few hundred short of 1,000 people there.
That's fucking insane.
Like, it was nuts. It was really cool. A girl from high school actually saw me too.
Yeah, like, I saw that.
Yeah, she was like, I was in there, and I was like, that's awesome. But yeah, no, that
fuck me.
No, no.
No, that wouldn't happen, or no, you wouldn't.
Not every girl that comes into contact with you guys wants to fuck you. I'm sorry.
Yes, they do.
It's only like 90. It's only like 90%. All right. No,
willing to negotiate.
60% of the time, it works every time.
69%.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was. Yeah. But no, it was a really fucking cool thing. It was really fun.
That's badass.
Yeah. So that was probably my favorite experience. That was just really
my favorite purchase was obviously the autographs as well. But my favorite moment was going through and meeting the accountants from The Office. Yeah. Like, I was fucking ecstatic about it, because I'm like, this is one of my... It's if not one of them, it is probably one like favorite show of all time.
Yeah, and I mean it was so cool like being in their panel too, because it's so funny. Like you always expect the characters from the show to act a certain way, and they're all very completely different from their.
Oh, dude, Angela's the sweetest fucking thing.
She was so nice.
Yeah.
I totally like snuck in behind Nick while she like wasn't doing any like meet and greets, and I feel really bad that I kind of took his time, but I wasn't going to say anything, but she was like, "Oh, is this like your family member or your friend?" And Nick's like, "Oh no, this is my friend. This is my friend."
You should have been like, "I don't fucking know her."
Whose name happens to also be Angela, and so I got to shake her hand, and she was so nice. Like, I did not pay for anything. Like,
well, and I was
a big.
It was funny because like I asked all three of them for voice spots, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because it went like each one of them had kind of a different emotional response to it. Like Angela was all about it. Like, I didn't pay for a fucking thing, and she was like, "Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, let's do that." Like, she was stoked. So sweet.
She looked really good too.
Oh yeah. Oh god, she did.
She
got a cute little bum on her.
Got a cute little everything.
Nick and I
on her.
came in after you had asked for the voice spot, and we were like, Nick was like, "Oh yeah, we're with the group that did the podcast that asked you for the voice spot," and she's like, "Oh right, the nerd construction, right?" And Nick's like, "No, the nerd."
I almost said convention because I was freaking out too.
But like, and it was funny because Kevin, Kevin. I forget his name.
Brian.
Brian
Moynihan.
Yeah.
Brian Baumgartner.
Yeah, so Brian Baumgartner.
Can you smell that pepper?
So, Brian Baumgartner, or however you pronounce it, right? Okay.
Bumgarter.
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 I am Brian, the garter of
Garter of rear end.
You're not getting in here.
It was funny because Nick and I were up there, and
I'll put my hand on your chest.
And we asked him, and he was like, "Well, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do that. Like,
he's like, I can't do that here.
I can't do that on site." And like, I was so tempted to be like, "All right, cool. Where are we meeting up later then?"
So where should we go?
But we were just like, "Oh no, that's cool." But he was really nice about it. Like that was fine. Like when I asked Oscar though, like, dude, he was trying to be as nice about it as possible, but the look on his face...
You could tell he was pissed.
Oh, dude, the look on his face was, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, man.
That's
whatever.
too bad people are like that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he was nice enough until that point, but then he was like, ugh, get the hell out.
And it sucks that it had to be the Mexican.
I know.
Fuck, man.
I mean, he is the gay one, right?
Yeah, I
he's
guess.
probably like,
He's just got
fuck are you
attitude.
gonna do with that, dog?
He's just got attitude, that's all.
Anyways, back
sassy.
to my thing that I was talking about, which I kind of just forgot where I was going.
You were talking about the accountants.
Oh yeah. So no, because like Kevin is one of my like top 5 favorite characters from The Office. Kevin is probably like 2 or 3. So it was really cool to meet him, and it blows me away because like Oscar and Angela they just talk, but Kevin has this totally different voice, and you go meet him and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I didn't know that until this.
Yeah.
I noticed that he aged a lot.
Yeah, and then I went up and I was talking to Oscar with Derek, and I totally forgot my question that I was going to ask him, where I was going to say, "So, what happened with the character names? Like, is it just a lazy thing that you all have the same names on the show?" Like, I wanted to ask him, but I forgot about it. But I was like talking to Oscar, and I was like, "Oh yeah, so I didn't see the first time on TV on The Office. I was like, I saw you on this show a long time ago on Comedy Central called Halfway House, which is just a show about a bunch of people living in a halfway house." And he's like, "Yeah," and he points to this picture of his character that you can get autographed, and he's just like this very flamboyantly gay like roller skater. And it was like his mugshot, and he was just kind of like, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "Yeah, that whole show was improvised." And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Shit.
Like,
that's crazy.
blows my mind. But yeah, just being able to meet them because I didn't get a chance to meet Rainn Wilson because every time I walked to his line, it was packed to the gills.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I was getting in there.
At least we got to see his panel, though.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
So fucking funny.
Oh, yeah. Those are my highlights.
My highlights
are blonde and...
For a second, I thought you said headlights. I was like,
my headlights.
My headlights.
It's like
my headlights.
Car? Like,
my highlights included watching Cole get his autographs, which was really cool just to be like on the outside of that because like the things that he would say to Rob and Roger, you know, like they got choked up over it. Like they were like, holy cow, like this guy is like intense but also like really grateful for like the work we've done and put into this, and it was just awesome. And they were so friendly, and Rob has like the kindest eyes that I have ever gazed at.
He really does.
I'm surprised Angela made it out without, you know, just
fucking slip and slide in here, boys.
And then, you know, like I said, kind of sniping Nick's conversation with Angela, but that was so cool that she shook my hand. But
yeah,
I apologize again for stealing your time with her. And then we went around to the vendors, and we came across this. It's called Color World Books.
Yeah.
They're on Instagram if you want to follow them, but they sold T-shirts and like bookmarks, and their bookmark collection included like every character from My Hero, and that was so rad because the guy that was selling them like knew everything about every character, like what their quirk was, what their hero name was, what their real name was, and every time we like came past again, like he was like, are you guys gonna buy something this time? Like, I'll give you a discount. And then like when we would bring friends back to buy stuff, he would give them the discount too, which was so awesome. But like when we were buying our 4 bookmarks that we got, we Cole and I had decided that we wanted a hero and a villain each, like our favorite hero and villain. But Cole ended up getting 2 villains, and I got my favorite hero and villain. And so when we were checking out with the guy, he was like, all right, we need a Shigaraki, we need a Toga, we need a Dabi, and Jiro, your only hero. And I was like, oh, this is so rad! I love this!
The guy knew his shit.
Well, and like, sure. And y'all, these aren't just like bookmarks, these are fucking
badass
metal bookmarks.
And like, he's not just
things.
The vendor. Like, he like knows his shit about this.
This dude is cool as fuck.
It was so awesome.
We'll post like his info.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like, it's a really cool company, really cool dude. Knows his shit.
Just so kind and like giving, and we came by again with Eddie, and we came by again with Derek, and he's like, hey, I remember you guys. Your friends can get a discount since you guys bought a bunch. And it was so rad.
It was way cool. That guy was way cool.
And I told you guys this like at the time, but it was funny too because when I was buying mine, like I bought all my best girls. But like you know, and I was
as one does.
I was so torn though. I was so torn because like I wanted everything. Yeah. But it was funny too because like after I bought the stuff, paid, and was about to leave, he's like, all right, man, cool, we'll go beyond. And I was like, all right, bye. And he kind of like you could see like a slight disappointment in his face, like
because he fucked it up.
Well, no, he was like, yeah, because I didn't do it. I didn't respond, and I was like, all right, Plus Ultra! And he was like, yeah! There you go! I was like, all right, fine.
He was so rad. And, like, there was just so much, like, time and effort, like, that you can see put into these bookmarks, and they're so beautiful. And even his card, you were showing it to me, and then I found mine in my bag. He put a lot of effort into that too. His company card is metal too, and it's got all of his info on it, and it was just so cool. Eddie, I don't remember which ones you bought.
I bought a Tokoyami for my wife, and I bought a Green Ranger for me.
Very nice.
So
Taco's yummy.
And one of my favorite purchases that I saw Cole buy was your Pokenatomy.
Oh, that one's so rad.
It's like probably one of the most unique things that I've ever bought. So we were just passing by, and
were you homebound?
Yeah.
So we were. What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, because we were going up and down all the vendor booths and stuff, and we just like came across this one, and I wasn't really paying attention because, like Cole said to Eddie when we were at the convention, he's like, we can't even keep track of this bitch. She's always wandering off. Ooh, something shiny. And yeah, like, this is my first con. I want to go look at stuff.
I told him that we should get you like a wrist leash.
Because I would be on like the opposite side of the.
You know what you should do? You should get one of those like the child harnesses.
Yeah.
Like just so you can just kind of follow her around and like never lose
She starts
her.
wandering off, just tug on it like, hey!
But so I wasn't really quite paying attention, but I look up and he's talking to this guy, and he's like, yeah, I wrote this book, and I was like, wait, you wrote it? And like they're like looking at it,
illustrated it.
Yeah, like this guy, he put a lot of time and effort into making this book. He went to school to study like cryptozoology and animal anatomy and all these other things to make a freaking Pokemon anatomy book.
It's like one of the coolest fucking things I've ever bought.
It is, I flipped through
because
it,
it's
too.
all the original 151 Pokemon, and he goes through every single one of them, gives like a full... Dude, I was reading some of them last night. They don't fucking hold back either. Like, I was reading one about Machop, and about how, in the wild they have this kind of hierarchy where they're all trying to... they're all trying to... Machop in my New Jersey. Yeah. Like, it's this crazy hierarchy where they're all trying to one-up each other, even to the point where they'll kill each other. And I'm like, fucking Pokemon? You know what I mean? And it's got this, like, dedicated... section on each page where it tells you, like, their behaviors and their moveset and all this shit. Like, this is all shit that has been laid out over decades of fucking Pokemon games, and he knows almost all about it.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta imagine the amount of fucking effort that he put into this.
And just so much care, too. Like, if you, like, look at the outward cover, it's like...
leather bound.
It's leather bound with, like, gold foiling,
and the pages are...
like very high quality,
And he signed it for me too.
Yeah, his
I
name
just was like,
Christopher something, but the
Stoll.
title, the title of the book is Pokenatomy, an unofficial guide.
What did you say? Stoll?
Stoll, Christopher Stoll.
And
I just was like, this is way too fucking cool not to buy.
And
yeah.
it's not the only book that he wrote either. The other book that he had was just like mythical creatures in general, like your unicorns, your mermaids, dragons, but he's got all of those the Vitruvian man, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
He's got an Instagram.
Let me see.
But he had like
that's him.
A diagram of like Samus doing the Vitruvian man,
oh, that's
right?
cool.
And
that's
like,
cool.
and just you can see like the inside of all these characters.
So it's not just the Pokemon. Then.
No.
So, but we got the Pokemon book, but in the other book, it's.
Because I remember walking past that booth and I saw just like a picture. It was like the half regular, half anatomy, like of the Bulbasaur. And I just walked past it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, no, like. It was an impulse buy for sure.
Fucking rad
Cole.
though. Like he came up with the Latin names for him.
Oh,
and everything.
really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
It's so fucking cool, and the amount of care that dude.
Yeah.
I'll bring it over next time. It's so, and he took like Angela was saying, the guy studied cryptic zoology, so he took like obviously Pokemon are mythical creatures, right? Like they're not fucking real, So he
What?
took.
Hold on.
He took like real life animals and was like, okay, a Growlithe kind of resembles a canine type,
right?
Animal. So he kind of based all of everything of
fuck yeah,
of Growlithe off of just the anatomy of a dog, And not only that, like he throws in like little things. Like I saw one with Charizard, like it has a flame retardant nose and all this stuff. Like yeah, he knew his shit, and it was really fucking cool.
Well, and like after like we were done like checking out, he's like, "You want me to sign it?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, we want you to sign
what
it."
If
this
guy?
is so
yeah,
cool.
what if this guy gets super fucking popular and I don't know. It was just one of those like super cool like instant buys where I was just like, whatever, dude. This is cool.
And that's the cool thing about Comic-Con too is like, yeah, there's the celebrity row with all of the current big names, you know, and all that shit. But like,
oh, dude, no,
if you don't,
Artist Alley is where it's at.
if you don't go through like all those little back alleyways and go through the Artist Alley and all that shit.
Why do you think we spent like over $100 on fucking shirts?
Well, you know, and like there's so much stuff you'll miss. Like
we had the opportunity to talk to Mike Zeck, who is the original creator for the black Spider-Man suit.
Yeah.
Nice.
No way.
Yeah, so I got
a voice
an
spot.
audio spot from him.
Yeah, dude.
But
like we happened upon him and we started talking to him and we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know what was fucking funny is that the guy that played Dom, or what's his name, that played Dom in Gears,
Chris Farrell.
he was fucking there again.
Yeah, he was.
And he's not a part of any line or anything. He's just at the con.
He wasn't like listed on.
It's like his
as a
fucking
guest
worked real hard or
last time we
something.
saw
Yeah,
him.
he wasn't. Yeah, I don't think he was. He wasn't listed as a guest last time either, like a big name or anything. But like, dude,
is he out of work? Like,
No,
what's
well,
going
and
on?
We forgot to talk to him.
We did. I'm sure he'll
We were
be
gonna
there
get
again.
him to try and do a
Da
voice
Vinci.
spot as Da Vinci because he was Da Vinci in Assassin's
Oh
Creed.
yeah, hell
So, I told everybody this already, but like, if I were a celebrity, that is who I would be.
Yeah.
Like, that is who I would be
Just
as a
walking
person.
Like,
Yeah.
Because,
hey, do
like-
you guys have any idea who I am?
Dude, it was because that's how we met him the first time.
Yeah.
We were just at a booth, and he like just wandered over and was like talking to the guy who ran the booth. That booth or the booth
It was
next to us?
no, it was the like. So he was talking to the owner of that Funko booth.
That's
at,
right.
And they were out like. So you know how they kind of like are in like kind of a U shape sometimes.
Yeah.
So they were outside of like where the guy just kind of has his you know his spot where he's sitting, and he was just talking, and I overheard them, and I was like looking at Pops or whatever, and I just overhear this guy go, "Yeah, I was Da Vinci in Assassin's Creed and Dom from Gears of War," and I just like I like threw it back on the shelf, and I like ran around the corner, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
So like,
I
this
wouldn't
guy,
have fucking believed him.
this
I'd
guy
have been
just-
like, "Hey, replay the entire scene where you had to kill your wife in Gears of War 2."
well, no, dude, and he was doing the voice on command and everything too, just because like that's who he is as a person. He's like, "Hey, guess who I am?" He's so excited about what he does.
Yeah.
That he can't help
Which is
himself.
fucking
he has
rad.
to go around and tell everybody who he, and that's totally who I would be. I would be like, guess what I did? Guess what I did?
well, unless you like met him or like IMDb like his games, like you just wouldn't know who he was. And,
Yeah,
like,
no,
you just
not
walk
at all.
past him, So
Not at all.
The life of a voice actor.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he would have been great on Twisted Tunes.
Oh, for real.
So that concludes our fan experience at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's right.
We said it.
Salt Lake Comicon.
Salt Lake Comicon.
Salt Lake San Diego Con.
Yeah.
SLCC.
Angela, thank you again for joining us.
You're welcome.
I'm assuming you'll go to more cons from now on.
Yeah, we've pretty much declared that this is... So beforehand it was Warped Tour. We went to every year we went to Warped Tour. And
Which was like so like being in a foreign land, but this like felt like we belonged there.
yeah, it's apples and oranges.
I mean, as soon as I saw my anime body pillows, I was like,
Oh yeah.
And
this is home.
This is it. This is
Jess
where we're-
Harnell's coming back in the fall, we found out. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and like, and I guarantee that so many people just harangued him constantly with questions about Twisted Tunes. The actual Twisted Tunes panel itself is coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be here in September.
Yeah.
And they're planning on doing more variety hour stuff, so look out for that. But yeah, catch us again, because we're going to be going more often.
Yep.
In cosplay.
In cosplay.
I thought you were going to say incognito. I was like, well, who does that help?
Incognitus.
In the nude.
In the nude.
I'm here.
I'm Nudie Man.
How you doing?
How you doing? I miss my horse.
Don't even talk about it, dude.
Still?
Don't even talk about it.
Dude, that was a rough part of that game. Like, that made me legitimately sad.
Really was.
I listened to that episode again, and I was like, preach, dog.
See, that
preach
was
it.
like my third or fourth horse in the game because.
Wiener!
See, it was only my second horse, I think.
But still, that was the horse that I had the longest at that point, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That shit fucking hurt,
Oh, yeah.
dog.
Yeah, that was tough.
I was sad because they killed Buell for me because I had just gotten Buell and you can't get that horse again, and I was like, no. But I was not nearly as sad as after I saw that and I looked at Cole and I said, oh, Wiener, because that was his horse that he had the entire game.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
I wanted to tell fucking Roger Clark about the Wiener story. I wanted to tell it to him so fucking bad. But then I was like, nah, I can't.
Well, and I wanted to tell Rob about throwing myself off the cliff after settling
You
down.
should have told him
I just couldn't handle it.
I couldn't fucking handle.
Now that
being
we're married, everything's gonna be great.
Couldn't fucking handle being married to a bitch like Abigail.
Swear to God.
She fine though.
Oh, she fine.
Nah, we all about Sadie up.
Yeah.
that's
I'm not
true.
saying she's not, but
Dude,
Abigail
Sadie
is.
is definitely best girl.
Oh yeah. We all about the waifus.
As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcourt Podcast.
Or you can email us at nerdcourtpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you want to cosplay and do a bunch of nerdy weeb shit with us,
where's the weeb shit?
follow us on, support our Patreon.
Weeaboo Jones.
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss.
Subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcorppodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to bonus content and secret episodes. As far as our patrons, Miss Harley Quinn, thank you again. She's our only patron, guys. Let's ramp it up.
Give us some money!
Give us some money!
Bring money! For the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm Angela Wooden.
I'm Derek Reese.
And I'm Nick Lewis.
Let's go smash.
Yeah, boy.
And I'm a smash.